following is a presentation of Main Street Media, your source for news, sports, and information on Main Street in Middle Tennessee.
Broadcasting from the Main Street Media television studios in Nashville, Tennessee, it's time for Friday Night Live, the best high school football coverage in Middle Tennessee, featuring Tennessee Radio Hall of Famer George Plaster, Zach Womble, and Billy Derrick, and also reporters from Main Street Media. Friday Night Live is presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. Fans, don't let fans drive drunk.
Good evening once again, everybody, and welcome into another edition of Friday Night Live. George Plaster with the happy Zach Womble. His Vols are 4-0.
Very happy. Very happy.
You. And Billy Derrick,
George,
sitting over in the little boy table.
I knew that was coming. How are you guys doing over at the big boy table?
We're doing great.
How's that high chair treating you?
Yeah, I am a little bit taller than George.
You look like you're towering over George.
Yeah,
right?
I do.
Looks like
I'm looking at it on the stream right now, and it does.
That must feel good.
It does. It looks like George is all of about 5'6", 5'7".
Well, I think he's happy that he's comfortable.
Yeah, that's true.
It's called a back issue.
Well, he gave me his chair, and I like it. I don't see where the issue is, but
good to have you with us tonight, Dikembe.
yeah.
Hey, let's check in right off the bat. I know we got a lot of things to do, but the Hall of Famer Mo Patton is on the line. He is covering Page at Columbia tonight. Mo, will you have one eye on Hotlanta, GA?
Unfortunately, George, I'm not talented enough to pay too much attention to that and pay as much attention to this as I need to. So I'll probably check in at halftime, and I'll check scores from time to time. And if it's going the wrong way, I'll probably just stop checking. So,
Tell me about the game you're covering. Hometown, obviously, with your work out of Columbia. Tell us what you know about this.
well, Page comes in here. They advanced to the Class 5A state finals last year. They are 6-0 right now. They're ranked number 2 in the state. Had been number 1 in the Associated Press Class 5A poll until this past week, when apparently Knoxville West win over Alcoa carried some weight and they moved up to number 1. But Page is the number 8 team in the Main Street Prep's top 25, and you know, they've been playing some pretty good ball. They lost their starting quarterback from last year, but they've subbed in Colin Hurd, who was the region's defensive player of the year last year, and they've hardly missed a beat with him at quarterback and with Ethan Cunningham at running back. So they've really been doing some good things on offense, and they've been really tough to do anything with defensively. Meanwhile, Columbia Central, coming off just their second win of the year last week, they defeated Class 2A and county rival Mount Pleasant 32-20, but they've struggled. Their only other win was in week 2 when they defeated Dixon County in overtime over here, and Dixon County still hasn't won a game. So Central's struggling a little bit. Last year, Central went up to Page, and it was a 42-35 game when the smoke cleared. They're going to be really pushed to reprise that this week. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, Mo, just looking at at Page and their record so far and their resume. I mean, they opened up the season with a big win on the road at Fairview, 19-0, and it feels like they haven't looked back ever since. They've got the bye week next week. How is this team doing with their injuries right now? And what do they want to see tonight in a game that maybe should go their way? Is this a situation where it's they want to get some guys out early to prepare for that bye week next week?
I think if it works out that way, I think they would probably be just fine with it because coming out of that bye, I think they have Nolansville.
They do. You know what? I told you wrong, Mo. They don't have a bye next week. They go straight to Nolansville. So let me re-ask you a question.
Oh.
Let me. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's my fault. They play at Nolansville October 7th, which is next week. I guess re-asking you the question, how do you think it's difficult for this team to put all their focus into Columbia knowing that they've got a bigger game just right on the horizon?
I'm going to be brutally honest with you. It may be tough for them to put all of their focus on this ball game, but I think, one, Columbia Central has enough athletes that if they are not focused, they'll get a rude wake-up call. But I think when it's all said and done, I think Page will be able to take care of business. And I think if they're able to get some folks out tonight, even though there's not an off week next week, I think they'll still look to do that and try to get ready for that Nolansville game against the Knights team that is also undefeated, both in overall play and in region play, obviously. And so that game is going to be for the Region 6-5A championship in all certainty. So, again, if they get an opportunity to get some guys out, I would imagine they will try to do that.
Go ahead. I was just going to say, looking down their schedule, I may have to check on their bye week because looking at their schedule on Coach T, they don't have a bye week. Those guys can get some rest coming up, Mo.
Yeah, I'm sure they've got one. I think seems like a lot of Williamson County schools are off either next week or the week after next, but you say the Nolansville game is next week. So maybe it's the week after that. I don't know. Or got to be careful where you get your schedules.
Yeah, amen. Amen, Mo. Hey, man, we really appreciate you calling in tonight and have fun at that one, okay?
Hold on a second. We got to give him some important info.
Oh, I'm sorry, George.
Only if it's good info, George.
The Mets fail in the first against Max Fried. The Bravos are now batting against Jacob deGrom.
Well, I guess that's pretty good. It's interesting. Jacob deGrom had a tough outing out at Oakland in his last start, and I don't think his start before that went very well either. I wonder if there's a little fatigue with a guy who, dealt with an injury earlier in the year and that kind of thing. I'm taking my positives anywhere I can get them.
I love your attitude. I was thinking the exact same thing. I know Max Fried will pitch well. Mo, thank you for the update.
Thank you, guys.
Maurice Patton joining us from Columbia High School. Page is the opponent tonight. Billy, not only a big night on the high school level, but MTSU has a huge game at home after ripping the University of Miami in a big upset last Saturday. They get Texas San Antonio tonight. They're just underway, about 2 minutes in and scoreless.
Yeah, I kind of want to keep an eye on that one. They Phil LaFloyd night tonight. They're doing a blackout. It should be a good crowd, and they need that one tonight. They got a big one. They're coming off a huge win, so we'll definitely be keeping track of that one. Speaking of keeping track of games, Chris Yao, Zach, is on the line. So Chris Yao is on the line. I am not totally sure where he is.
He's at Richland.
Richland. Okay, let's go to Richland for Chris Yao reporting live. Chris, how you doing tonight?
Doing well, guys. How are y'all?
Doing great. What can we expect tonight from Richland?
Right now we can expect that I'm talking during the prayer. That's always good.
We always get you. We get you at the best times, don't we, Chris?
It's all right. We'll make it work. This is for the Region 5 2A championship, I think. I mean, these two teams are both coming in here. Obviously, Mo just told you that Mount Pleasant only lost last week to Columbia Central Class 5A program. Richland right now is absolutely, tearing it up. And these two teams right here are going to play for the region title tonight, in my opinion. So obviously, Forest still wins for both of these guys, but Forest has not been as good this year as they have been in the past. And I think that these two teams are definitely playing for the region title. Now you've got Nick Brown, who comes in with 731 yards passing and 8 touchdowns, just to 2 interceptions. But his counterpart, Bryce Miller from Richmond, he's thrown for almost 500 yards and 7 touchdowns himself. So it's going to be a heck of a ball game.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be. You mentioned, Chris, that these two teams are the best teams in their region. How do you feel they shake out when it comes to playoff time? Does it feel like this is a region that can run the opposing region come playoff time? Because you look at Mount Pleasant and Richland, and they're just kind of running through everybody right now.
They are. It's, honestly, this is a strong region. I mean, it has been the last couple of years. So if Mount Pleasant and Richland can stay healthy, of course, in 2A, you've got so many teams that play a lot of kids both ways. Richland right now is platooning almost 2 full teams out there. I think they're playing about 18 or 19 kids, so that they're not struggling as much as other teams in the lower classifications do with depth. So that's obviously a positive for them. They got 50 kids out here in 2A, which is huge. So we'll see. Honestly, Richland and Mount Pleasant are really good football teams, really athletic, and tonight's going to be a huge ball game. And in the playoffs, I think at least these two teams get a win. I also think Forest and Loretto, Cascade's still out there as well. So we'll see. But, this is a strong region.
Chris, we hear the baseball song in the background, so I know we need to let you go. Thank you for taking the time to do this.
All right, go Braves.
Bingo. By the way, scoreless top 2 down in Cobb County. Chris Yao reporting from Richland, Mount Pleasant, the opponent.
Chris talking through the prayer and the national anthem. So
0 for 2.
That's dedication right there.
We're not saying Chris is anti-prayer, anti-country, but I'm just saying he was speaking through both of those. That was the worst. I remember being in that position last year where you would call in, kind of close to kickoff, and you're just praying like, please don't let it be during the national anthem. And
now you don't have to worry about it.
Now I don't have to worry about it. That's exactly right.
Billy, what do you got over there?
Well, George, we've got a couple guests coming up here. Zach, doing okay?
I'm doing okay.
We got to get all cleared up tonight. We got another as Zach takes the Fiji water. No free ads.
Yeah.
But George, before we get to any other guests, we do need to take a break here quick. But I want to give us a little chance here to preview some of these big games tonight. Zach talked about Cane Ridge and Smyrna tonight. That's a huge one. Cane Ridge is 5-1, Smyrna 5-0. Here's a new name that Tyler Palmatier talked about in his piece. Martion Matthews. He rushed for Cane Ridge's game-winning score against CPA last week. So there's some players, there's some dudes on Cane Ridge that I think could surprise everybody out there at Smyrna tonight, Zach. And another one, Oakland and Blackman. Kind of a classic rivalry. It's kind of like Alabama-Auburn. You can really throw out the records. No matter how good they are, Blackman's no slouch, 5-1, Oakland 5-0. So I like those two games right there at the top.
Now, wait a minute. You said it'd be a blowout.
I do think it'll be a blowout. But you know what I found out very interesting about Blackman? Their strategy. No matter the score or the situation, they onside kick every time.
What?
Yeah.
You're kidding.
No, found that out. Shout out to Russell Venozzi for getting that tidbit to us. But, yeah, no matter the situation, no matter the score, they onside kick. So
wow. I mean, that
playing the percentages, I guess.
Heard that before,
yeah,
but
they'll get a couple of games.
I wonder if that's happened before Blackman in the mid-state or in the Tennessee area. That's interesting.
I don't know.
Okay, we'll take our first break. Texas San Antonio has scored, it looks like, off their first drive of the game, and they lead MTSU 7-0. They're about 4.5 minutes into that game in Murfreesboro. We'll go to our first break. This is Friday Night Live.
For Dustin Timmons and Joey Donnelly, they welcome every opportunity to serve and satisfy their clients. Whether you are looking to build your dream home or renovate your current home, their team will ensure that every client and remodel is unique, luxurious, completed on time, and within budget. Contact them today to set an appointment for a free consultation or to view some of their completed projects by logging on to DonnellyTimmons.com.
Do you love bacon? I mean, do you really love bacon? Who doesn't, right? The 3rd annual Murfreesboro Bacon Fest is coming up Saturday, September 10th. Admission and parking are free. The Bacon Festival will feature live music, food, and craft vendors. And did I say bacon? You can ride a mechanical hog ride. Visit the Kids Zone with free inflatables. There will also be hourly raffles with great prizes and an opportunity to purchase Bacon Festival merchandise. And did I say bacon? Yeah, there will even be a bacon eating contest. Visit the 3rd annual Murfreesboro Bacon Festival Facebook page for all the details.
Jody Jones Dentistry can handle all your dental needs, from the basics to cosmetic procedures. All of this in the nicest dental facility I have ever seen. Jody has done it right. They're located conveniently at 55 Music Square East, and for an appointment, it's simple. Dial 615-259-5100 and tell them Plaz sent you. When you're thinking about golf, consider Riverside Golf Links. Under new ownership, the course has improved dramatically. It's now 27 holes, complemented by a 9-hole executive course. Book a tee time now at 615-847-5074 and get ready to enjoy the beauty of golf in the Old Hickory area at Riverside Golf Links.
I'm Bart Durham.
I was sworn in as a lawyer in 1963, and I've been working as a lawyer since then.
We're a firm that does exclusively personal injury, a lot of tractor-trailer crashes. Insurance companies will open up their checkbooks when you force them to.
We have systems that work.
We get the most money for our clients in the shortest amount of time.
I'm Blair Durham. My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
Hi, this is Melissa Hoisington, Regional Crisis Director from Volunteer Behavioral Health. Disasters can affect everything in your life, including your emotional health. Help is available during these uncertain times. The Tennessee Recovery Project is a free, supportive resource for adults and children who have experienced the effects of natural or human-caused disasters. Specialists are available for counseling by phone or in person. For free, confidential service, please call 833-954-2424. The hotline is open 7 days a week, 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Move forward with the help from the Tennessee Recovery Project.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good. I thought it was good.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal. It was no big deal.
Hey, I can hold my liquor.
I thought I could hold my liquor.
Welcome back here on Friday Night Live. Most of the games are about 3 or 4 minutes away from getting underway. By the way, the Mets have scored. They lead my Bravos 1-0 in the second in that gigantic series down in Atlanta. Texas San Antonio a 7-0 lead at MTSU. Tulane a 7-0 lead at Houston. Boise State and San Diego State, they have not started. Not that I really think you cared.
I would be interested in that game. Just
would you?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, good.
I like late. I like late football. So when we get home tonight, it'll be however late it is, and turn it on and see some Pac-12 after dark, some Mountain West after dark, and
yeah,
I think that's what makes college football so great. We were talking off the air about other stuff, but
let's check in, find out where Ivan Aronin is tonight. Ivan, what's going on?
Well, taking the night off from high school football tonight, I got in one of the Thursday games last night. Went to the Mount Juliet Station Camp game at Mount Juliet. Mount Juliet won that one 33-22. Stayed in first place in Region 5-5A, the only team in the region that has not lost a region game this year.
They're pretty good, aren't they? They're pretty good, aren't they?
They have their typical offense where they have a bunch of playmakers. They run the ball. Their quarterback actually is not a bad passing quarterback. He just never gets the chance to throw the ball, or throws it rarely, because they have so many good running backs.
Ivan, you mentioned the quarterback not getting a lot of chances to throw that pigskin around, but just how impressive is it for the fact that he's I believe a sophomore, and he's running the show.
That's correct.
And he's got this team in position to win the region. How impressive has he been through 6 games?
He's run the ball well. Tyler Travers, he's run the ball well when they ask him to run maybe 4 or 5 times a game. Last night, he threw probably more passes than I've seen him throw. That's about my 5th game covering them. He threw 16 passes, completed 9 of them to 4 different receivers. Mount Juliet trailed early in the game, 14-0, so they have to pass a little bit more to get back into the game. But he has done, according to Coach Trey Perry, he's done everything they've asked him, done it well, and stepped right in. And the other players, especially on offense, really have gotten behind him and support him well.
Ivan, after Mount Juliet lost the first game of the season at Gallatin, they have strung off 5 straight wins. They beat Hunters Lane, Warren County, White County, at Wilson Central, which I think was an underrated victory on the road, and then Station Camp on last night, 33-22. So looking at Mount Juliet, how does the kind of the first half of their schedule in your mind compare to that second half? Because they still have Lebanon, and they also have to play at Green Hill in the Mayor's Cup into that, that last game of that season. So just from what you've seen, do you think they have more of a challenge than what they've seen early in the season coming up?
I think they will. The game at Mount Juliet last year with Green Hill, the last game of the regular season, they had a big lead and wasted it. It's 2 schools a couple of miles apart, and that's going to be a fantastic game, at least on paper right now. I think Lebanon will give them a good workout as a non-region game for what they may or may not see in the playoffs. And then their last 2 region games are on the road at Hillsboro and then at Green Hill, which technically, like you said, is a road game, but it's about 3 miles down the road.
For those of you guys don't know, Ivan is a big Georgia Bulldog fan. They've obviously got the Deep South's oldest rivalry tomorrow. A lot of people were upset that game got picked over
LSU and Auburn.
LSU and Auburn.
I think that's next week.
Yeah, next week.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah,
I've messed
week
up.
ahead there.
I've messed up. Ivan. I'm on bye week, so my mind is just not even just in the right place. I'm in just a good headspace right now, and I was just went ahead and looking ahead at the next week.
Well, I'll be happy to talk Georgia football with you all night long at some point if you'd like to.
Not really.
And
I was just going to ask you about that game, but it's not even relevant. So we can let Ivan go now.
I was about to break into Larry Munson and give you, God, the dogs are barking.
Since you brought up SEC football, I'll throw one note in there from the Mount Juliet game. They have a linebacker, Vanderbilt commitment, Ethan Crisp, who evidently has been injured and Coach Perry said after the game last night that he is no longer on the Mount Juliet football team with an elbow injury. I think there was some question over could he return this year and not jeopardize further damaging his elbow. But he was at the game last night, sitting in the first row of the bleachers in front of the press box.
Yeah, you got to believe with an early commitment. You got to believe with an early commitment to Vanderbilt, he doesn't want to jeopardize anything by maybe even if he could potentially come back for a game, maybe in the playoffs, with a player like that, I think you're seeing more and more decisions made from players in today's age like that, where they're just saying, nope, I'm not going to risk it. I love my team, love my players, but you've also got a personal career of your own to look out for.
Sure. That seems to be the case there.
Ivan, thank you for the update. Enjoy your Friday night off.
All right. We'll talk to you all next week. Have a good night.
Ivan Aronin reporting from a couch near you.
Lucky him, right?
Yeah.
Lucky him getting to take the night off. But he worked last night. He worked hard. So,
Billy, have a little update.
You got a little update, George?
I do.
What is that?
Austin Riley, 38th homer of the year. We are tied at 1-1.
Austin Riley.
George, a lot of years this would be an MVP year.
George, they play 162 games, and you guys couldn't get it figured out until the last week of the season.
That group that they're going up against is pretty good, and the Braves have now scored again. Matt Olson, back-to-back with Austin Riley, his 31st of the year, the former Sound, 2-1 Atlanta.
George, let me ask you this. When the trade went down with Freddie Freeman and Matt Olson, there are a lot of fans that were apprehensive about Matt Olson coming in, right? I mean, you're replacing Freddie Freeman, the fan favorite, who he was and so beloved. And a lot of fans didn't know what to expect. They what will Matt Olson give the Braves? Do you feel like we're at the end of the season? How do you feel like that trade looks now?
Well, first of all, they did the best damage control they could when that thing went south, and different people have got different theories on what caused it, who caused it. But once the Braves made the decision, the damage control they did was incredible. Some of what they gave up to Oakland, Christian Pache, to me, is very overrated. Langoliers, Billy, is the one weapon that I wish the Braves had been able to keep.
Shea Langoliers.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was kind of confused when they let him go because he seemed like a player with a lot of young talent, that he had kind of stored up.
They may have known more about William Contreras than we did.
Yeah. He has turned into a really, really nice player.
Yeah. Anyway, 2-1 Atlanta. Without being able to see the game, this is the third start in a row where Jacob deGrom has gotten beaten around early. You're going to hear a lot of theories about what's going on there, and I don't pretend to know.
As Aaron Judge gets a base knock up the middle, I think he'll take it. What is that, the bottom of the third? I can't make out what inning it is right now.
Looks like it, yeah.
Yeah.
So
why are they still showing Yankees games?
Well, I mean, he's chasing 62. I mean, he's chasing.
Well, how many milestones does he have to chase?
Well, 61 tied 62.
Yeah.
Makes him the American League all-time leader. Here's the thing about it, Billy.
I don't understand this.
Yeah, but the thing is, the belief is that this is the first one that has done it clean. This is not McGuire. This is not Sosa. And this is certainly not Barry Bonds. This guy has done it in a drug testing era. And that's what the story is.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, it's the first time, you look at that list and, you say this is probably the one guy that has done it clean. I mean, yeah, he's a big guy, but he's always been a big guy. You're right. He's always been 6'6", 280, at the plate. It's not like a Barry Bonds situation. You go from Pittsburgh being 6'5", 180 pounds soaking wet to, 250 the next year in San Francisco. This is a guy that presumably is like the Albert Pujols of the world, which is clean, natural.
Right. Yeah. No, I understand the significance, but on the ESPN network, the way they've treated it, I mean, cutting into college football games last week. Now they're
that did not go over well.
No, I mean, I don't know that they have to do that.
I don't know that they do either. And they put out Houston put out a statement released from their communications department on Twitter. Did you see that today about how they would be cutting into the game? And it was just nothing but bad replies to it.
I mean, what did they think the replies were going to be?
Yeah,
it's college football season. You're showing Yankees baseball. I know Terry McCormick's not mad about it though.
Yeah, he's probably pretty happy about that one. So as the Friday night game of the week gets ready to kick off between NBA and Pope Prep, we were talking, Billy, off air. That game was already going to be an uphill battle for Pope Prep, even if Kenny Minchey played, just because of how well NBA is. I went on the George Plaster show earlier today to make the case that they should be the number one team in the state. But, now without Kenny Minchey, I just don't see how this game doesn't get completely out of hand by the second quarter.
Yeah, I really don't. I mean, what they did to BA is I would say right up there in second place right now. I mean, behind NBA in that region.
Yeah.
I mean, you could argue maybe Baylor or McCallie. I just haven't seen enough of them. But in this game tonight, if you have Kenny Minchey, that's kind of your chance. And at the high school level, you have a quarterback, that's your chance, but they don't. So yeah, I think that's why this game is on TV, I think.
Yeah, it is why it's on TV. And I'll say this, Sebi Nelson, a freshman for Pope Prep.
Yeah, no disrespect to the kid starting. I feel bad talking about it like that in that manner. But
it is what it is at this point. But I would not be surprised if they decide to roll with Chet Lax, a senior at quarterback. Chet Lax is won Mr. Baseball
he's an athlete.
last year.
Yeah, he's a good baseball player. Yeah.
Really good baseball player, has a great arm, has a good command of the offense, can deliver the football, but he's not a four-star quarterback. And, in these types of games, you got to have those guys that can spin it 60 yards on a dime, and that's exactly what Kenny Minchey gives you.
I would argue Kenny Minchey's the most impactful player in the state.
Yeah.
To his team. To his team, his respective team, because JP2 – They don't have, they're not an NBA. They don't have all the bodies around Marcel Reed and the running back and the defensive players and all that and the coach, but they do have Kenny Minchey, but he's not playing. So
which is really a shame.
No, it is. It is. But again, George, it's like the Ethan Crisp thing. He's committed to play football at Pitt. And, I think his isn't as serious as Crisp. Like, we'll probably see Kenny Minchey
I would think
down the stretch here, these final two games of the season, maybe 3 games, but it's the same situation. I mean, you don't want to risk that, in today's day and age.
They've got a bye week next week, so it's an opportunity to get an extra week rest for Kenny.
I think you could argue this is the last time without Kenny Minchey. Josh Maylander, he is a stud.
Yeah, he looks like a college football player at the next level. 6'5", about 215 pounds. Transferred in from California.
He's the one person really missing Kenny the most right now, because Kenny really distributed the football to him really well. And, without your quarterback, man, that's tough. So I would still expect really good things, though, from Maylander the rest of the season.
Absolutely. And, they've got a really good team. And, you hope you see Kenny back. Like I said, they got the bye week next week, an extra week to heal. But then they got Knox Catholic coming to town after that. So life doesn't get any easier for them.
It ain't easy in Division II AAA, no doubt.
So you want the wet blanket on this?
Sure.
I totally disagree with this new, I get hurt, I've committed to a college.
Sure.
So I'm not going to play anymore.
Oh, no, I'm right there with you.
I don't like that at all.
I think you have a commitment to your team. And honestly, I guess I should walk a tightrope here, but it almost feels like it says something about the individual that decides to bail on his brothers, because he's got the ride to the next level.
Well, I will say this. If I'm a player on a team and my teammate does that, I'll let him have it.
Yeah. And why not? And why not?
I mean, do you sign up to be a part of a team or not?
Right.
Well, I think another thing is he is enrolling early, I think, at Vanderbilt. So he'll be gone after this first semester of high school.
Yeah, but what does that really have to do with it?
Well, I'm not defending him. I'm just saying that might have factored into his decision making with it.
I'm not going any particular individual. it's this whole I'm not playing
Right, yeah.
in my team's bowl game, so
Right.
I can go, to the combine.
Yeah, so you're right. I mean, let's even push this into college football. You see
it's exactly what it is.
It feels like it started with Christian McCaffrey, or at least that's when it became mainstream. You remember when he decided to sit out his bowl game to prepare for the combine, and ever since then, we've just kind of have this wave of players kind of looking out for them, looking out for their own interest. In college, I kind of see it, but in high school, I definitely don't see it. As I don't see the positives of leaving the team or not finishing out the season. In college, okay, you could talk me into, your top guys, whoever it may be, sure. But in high school, yeah, I'm not on board with that.
Do we need to go to a break?
Yes, we do.
Now that I've made everybody mad,
Yeah.
This is Friday Night Live on Main Street Media Television.
For Dustin Timmons and Joey Donnelly, they welcome every opportunity to serve and satisfy their clients. Whether you are looking to build your dream home or renovate your current home, their team will ensure that every client and remodel is unique, luxurious, completed on time, and within budget. Contact them today to set an appointment for a free consultation or to view some of their completed projects by logging on to DonnellyTimmons.com.
Do you love bacon? Do you really love bacon?
Jody Jones Dentistry can handle all your dental needs, from the basics to cosmetic procedures. All of this in the nicest dental facility I have ever seen. Jody has done it right. They're located conveniently at 55 Music Square East, and for an appointment, it's simple. Dial 615-259-5100 and tell them Plaz sent you. When you're thinking about golf, consider Riverside Golf Links. Under new ownership, the course has improved dramatically. It's now 27 holes, complemented by a 9-hole executive course. Book a tee time now at 615-847-5074 and get ready to enjoy the beauty of golf in the Old Hickory area at Riverside Golf Links.
I'm Bart Durham.
I was sworn in as a lawyer in 1963, and I've been working as a lawyer since then.
We're a firm that does exclusively personal injury, a lot of tractor-trailer crashes. Insurance companies will open up their checkbooks when you force them to.
We have systems that work.
We get the most money for our clients in the shortest amount of time.
I'm Blair Durham. My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
Hi, this is Melissa Hoisington, Regional Crisis Director from Volunteer Behavioral Health. Disasters can affect everything in your life, including your emotional health. Help is available during these uncertain times. The Tennessee Recovery Project is a free, supportive resource for adults and children who have experienced the effects of natural or human-caused disasters. Specialists are available for counseling by phone or in person. For free, confidential service, please call 833-954-2424. The hotline is open 7 days a week, 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Move forward with the help from the Tennessee Recovery Project.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good. I thought it was good.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal. It was no big deal.
Hey, I can hold my liquor.
I thought I could hold my liquor.
We're back. We got in a huge argument during the break about how many national titles the University of Pittsburgh won. They won all of them before the Allegheny River was made.
Listen, I'm just saying they have them. I said a blanket statement. They have 9 natties. You said they don't, but they do.
They're all before 1930.
I'm not defending them. I'm just saying they do have 9 national championships. That's all
A
it is.
national titles and national
We
titles.
didn't even have radio back then.
I mean,
I wonder if we could find those games.
they boast about it. I was at Heinz Field a few weeks ago, and they've got it plastered on the stadium.
Plastered.
9-time national champion.
Casey Patrick, get me out of this problem I have opened up. Where are you?
I'm in Dixon County tonight. They're having homecoming, and so I decided to just take the short trip down to the hill now. And we just got started. Laverne turned the ball over on downs. Nobody scored yet, but we've got a pretty good crowd over here, at least the home side for, like I said, for homecoming tonight for the Cougars.
Casey, the Braves have gotten on Jacob deGrom for too early. They lead it 2-1 in the third.
Yeah, I saw the video on Twitter of Matt Olson. He popped a missile off of DeGrom. Of course, DeGrom throws everything like 150 miles an hour anyway, so as long as you hit it, it'll go pretty hard.
Casey, I asked George this earlier, and I want to ask you this because you're the other resident Brave fan. We are X amount of months removed from the Matt Olson trade, replacing Freddie Freeman. There were so many Brave fans that were just worried that Matt Olson couldn't bring the same level of production to the lineup. Now that we're 7 months or whatever removed from that trade, how are you feeling about it?
I mean, I still like it. He's done exactly what I thought he was going to do. He's going to hit around 240. He's going to play pretty good defense, and he's going to do all of that about $14 million cheaper than Freddie Freeman. So he's also I want to say 4 or 5 years younger than Freddie Freeman as well. So you got a guy he's going to get used to it, and he's from the area. Freddie can go to California or whatever. He can have the high taxes and the earthquakes. I don't care. That's his problem. I'll take Olsen.
Nice commentary there. By the way, Matt Olson was a Vanderbilt commit who didn't end up going to Vandy, but ended up going pro instead, and then played a couple of years in the new ballpark for the Nashville Sounds.
Casey,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you stick with me, Casey.
I learned something, won't I?
It's better than the stuff that I'm getting out of it. I'm in my right in the back room. Casey, you should have heard it earlier. They're yelling out the years that Pitt won the national title. Like Andrew Jackson was president.
Yeah.
Casey,
okay. So is that when Jesus was walking earth and stuff like that? Is that what we're talking about?
George is trying to paint me into this corner that I'm a big Pitt supporter of their national championships, and I was just saying they have them. That's all I was saying, George. That's all I was saying. Casey, we're gonna let you get back to your game, man, but check back in with us later before we.
He wonders why did I call?
Oh yeah, well I'm trying to get him.
I don't know if I want to call back in later.
Yeah,
y'all got all kinds of stuff. Y'all have a good evening.
All right, Casey.
Casey, thank you.
He's at a game tonight that just could go either way between Laverne and Dixon County.
You just never know.
Two prideful programs really battling it out. I mean, so we'll see how that one shakes out. But yeah, it's going to be Casey could either be in for a long night at Dixon County or a short night, depending on the play calls that they run. But it's going to be an interesting one.
By the way, Texas San Antonio 10-0 lead at Middle. They now should be nearing the end of a long first quarter there. Houston and Tulane tied at 7-7 very late in the first half. Boise State and San Diego State just now getting underway.
NBA just had a surefire touchdown pass that they dropped by, I think it was Claiborne Richards that dropped it.
Which is a rarity.
Yes, exactly. He is one of the players on my to watch list for NBA tonight. I mean, he gave Berwyn Academy fits last week, and has an opportunity to do that again this week against an inexperienced but energetic Pope Prep secondary. I think it's safe to say. So, dropping that was big. But I tell you what, it was still a beautiful ball by Marcel Reed. I mean, kind of laid it out there right in the breadbasket. He just kind of dropped it. But NBA so far showing no signs of slowing down. They're kind of, moving the ball with ease right now. They've got the ball just on the 44-yard line, I guess is what that is on Pope Prep's side, George, if I can make that out right.
I've also got an update from Lipscomb Academy, Davidson Academy. Caleb Beasley, pick 6. Lipscomb Academy leads 21-0.
And there goes Reed. All the way down inside the 25. Yeah, we were talking about Lipscomb Academy earlier. Do you have, I'm kind of putting you on the spot here. Do you have any opinion or thoughts on trying to quantify those out-of-state wins compared to Montgomery Bell Academy and why they should be number 1 over NBA?
That's a really good question. The Thompson team they beat in Alabama is really good.
Yeah.
And that was a really good win. The Maryland team, I don't know about that win. I don't know how good that win is. And they've played a few of those types of teams. I know they played another school from Georgia, if I'm not mistaken.
Milton,
Georgia, which, I've heard good things about, but I just don't know. I don't think there's a way for you to really know unless you deep dive into those schools out of state.
You have to really deep dive.
Yeah, but I do think it does say something about Lipscomb to no matter who you're playing out of state. I mean, that's difficult. And for Lipscomb Academy, if you're going out of state, you're playing a pretty damn good team. So, I do put – it's hard right now to put one ahead of the other.
Sure.
But just because of what I've seen from Lipscomb Academy and, the pure eye test, I do put them just ahead of NBA. But, man, that'd be a fun matchup.
Wouldn't it,
just like Lipscomb or Oakland. Lipscomb, Oakland, NBA, put them in a little jamboree. Man, I would pay whatever it takes to see those schools.
As Jonathan Moore gets into the paint for Montgomery Bell Academy, it's probably going to be a long night for Pope Prep as NBA gets their first of what probably is going to be a lot of touchdowns.
Yeah,
tonight.
that's one of those drives where you kind of set the tone early, and you go down and you score. You score by running the football. I mean, that was a 15-yard touchdown there by NBA. So, I just don't see JP2 competing in this one. And, it is a shame. George said it earlier, but I think the good thing for Pope is that they are confident Kenny will be coming back.
Yeah.
And they're still talented around him. I mean, that's we're not disrespecting them. It's just kind of where they're at right now.
Hey, when they hit the playoffs, if Kenny's playing and when they hit the playoffs, look out. Exactly. There's not going to be a game on their schedule where you say, oh, they're definitely going to lose.
No.
Well, let me try this one. So, obviously, you put Oakland in that little mix. Lipscomb Academy under Trent Dilfer, NBA. I didn't hear a Maryville or an Alcoa.
Well, to be honest with you, George, I don't know anything about those schools. I know they're proud programs that kind of dominate East, although I think Maryville is losing to Cleveland High School right now, 14-7 in the second quarter. So,
or you can say it Maryville.
I don't know anything. We don't rank those teams out East, but I'm sure that if we had eyeballs on them, that we would have them somewhere in the top 5, regardless of classification. So, those are programs that you can kind of count on year in and year out to be there, knocking on the doorstep of a trip to Cookeville or Chattanooga or wherever the state championship is played. And so, surely we would have those guys ranked if we had eyes on them.
Looks like Smyrna is the place to be tonight. Tyler Palmatier reporting. He's reporting that coaches from Alabama and Tennessee are at that game to watch Arion Carter, running back for Smyrna. So lots of folks in town for that one. Early scores, of course, NBA leads JP2 7-0. We've also got, I think it's FRA up early on CPA, if I'm not mistaken. I think I saw that a little bit earlier. Could have been wrong, though. Could have been the other way, so I'll try to get confirmation on that. But I like that matchup, though, too, Zach. CPA and FRA tonight. FRA is a team that we've talked a lot about. They're 5-1 right now. They're 1-1 in D2AA, and they're facing an up-and-down CPA team. They're 3-3. They're undefeated in their region, but this is a huge game in that region. I mean, they've played 2 games in their region at this point in the season. In CPA, I like that matchup with Ty Clark, the third, and that defense of CPA facing up with Ty Clark. So really looking forward to seeing how that one shakes out.
Yeah, you and me both. We're both kind of high on Geisinger and what he's been able to already establish at FRA. Another test for him.
This would be kind of a cement block.
Yes.
Like you go on the road and you beat CPA, man.
Absolutely.
That would be legit.
Absolutely, it would. And anxious, like you said, anxious to see how that one plays out. No doubt about it. But you mentioned Maryville. They are actually losing 14-7 to Cleveland High School. I don't have an Alcoa score, but there are some scores starting to roll in. Like Clay County's up 14-0 over Red Bowling Springs. Ray County, Walker Valley tied at 14. Sequatchie County up 7-0 on Community. Fayetteville and Cornersville tied at 0. Smith County trying to get to 6-1, up 14-0 on Stratford. Wilson Central and White County. Hey, now we got a 7-6 game right now. Wilson Central leading White County. Wilson Central 1-5, White County 5-1, both in the same region in the first quarter. So some scores rolling in early.
I did have that CPA FRA score wrong. CPA leads 13-0 in that first quarter over FRA. So
McCauley leading their Chattanooga rival Baylor 14-0. Father Ryan up on Knox Catholic 7-0. And like we said, NBA up 7-0 on Pope Prep. And that's all I've got right now on these scores. Henry County just scored to take a 7-0 lead at Springfield. So that's a really good game to keep an eye on tonight.
Mm-hmm. No doubt.
We go to a break.
Let's do it.
Yep, let's do it. A lot of the games now mid to late first quarter, as we keep you updated on everything as it becomes available. The show is Friday Night Live, and this is Main Street Media Television.
For Dustin Timmons and Joey Donnelly, they welcome every opportunity to serve and satisfy their clients. Whether you are looking to build your dream home or renovate your current home, their team will ensure that every client and remodel is unique, luxurious, completed on time, and within budget. Contact them today to set an appointment for a free consultation or to view some of their completed projects by logging on to DonnellyTimmons.com.
Jody Jones Dentistry can handle all your dental needs, from the basics to cosmetic procedures. All of this in the nicest dental facility I have ever seen. Jody has done it right. They're located conveniently at 55 Music Square East, and for an appointment, it's simple. Dial 615-259-5100 and tell them Plaz sent you.
I'm Bart Durham.
I was sworn in as a lawyer in 1963, and I've been working as a lawyer since then.
We're a firm that does exclusively personal injury, a lot of tractor-trailer crashes. Insurance companies will open up their checkbooks when you force them to.
We have systems that work.
We get the most money for our clients in the shortest amount of time.
I'm Blair Durham. My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good. I thought it was good.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal. It was no big deal.
Hey, I can hold my liquor.
I thought I could hold my liquor.
We are back. This is Friday Night Live. George Plaster, Zach Womble, Billy Derrick alongside for a Friday evening where we got a lot of games going on, a lot of reporters all over the Middle Tennessee area. Let's check in with Brady Mack. He is at Rossview High School. They're playing Gallatin. Brady, what's shaking?
How we doing, guys? So we actually had a little bit of a late start tonight. We got a 7:30 start, so we're just now getting into the coin flip for Rossview and Gallatin.
Very nice. Get a late start. He maybe allowed you to get something from the concession stand. Brady, this is obviously a really, really big region game for both of these teams. You had Rossview coach Todd Hilton on. Hilton, is that right? No, not
Todd Hood.
Todd Hood. Thank you. I was thinking Todd Hood. You had Todd Hood on. We're going to hear from him later. What did he tell you about this game and just what Rossview needed to do to give themselves a chance to win tonight?
Well, he obviously knows that Gallatin's MO is running the ball and controlling that clock. And he knows that, they got to take advantage of their opportunities when they get them. If they can force a turnover, get decent field position, they can't afford to waste chances like that against a team who's not going to allow you to have many of them.
Absolutely. And, I guess for you, Brady, looking at Rossview, you know them well. What are you looking for from them tonight to see if they are ready to take that next step? Because obviously this year has been a tough year for them.
Yeah. Yeah, so they're going to have to play disciplined football. I mentioned taking advantage of Gallatin's mistakes. Rossview's going to have to also not make many mistakes of their own. And, they're pretty good at that. They don't turn the ball over very often. And they've got a pretty solid disciplined defense. Not a lot of penalties from this team. They also lack explosiveness. They're not a team that's going to, break off 50, 60, 70-yard runs on you, big passing plays. They kind of have to stay within themselves and not get rattled if they get punched in the mouth.
Brady, thanks for stopping by here, Brady. Rossview, what have you seen? Obviously, the game hasn't started yet, but under Coach Hood, with him at the helm, what can you tell us about this team and kind of what we can expect from them tonight, but also down the stretch here this season?
Yeah, I think you can expect them to stay resilient. They had a really close first half last week against a really, really good Springfield team, and I think they ended up having the closest margin of defeat to Springfield among any of the other teams in the area, which, they still lost. But that's, something they can hang their hats on a little bit is, losing not as bad as teams like Clarksville High and Northeast did. But they're just a composed team. They're pretty, they're smart. Like I said, not a ton of explosiveness here. They're not the most athletic team in the area. But they do things right. And it's just a matter of really making enough plays to get a win.
Brady, I'm very much interested in your game tonight, so please keep us updated. Give us a shout back later and just let us know what's going on, okay?
Of course, and I actually got a pair of updates from other games. One of them you're particularly going to be interested in.
What's that? Let's hear it.
So one that's interesting is Northwest is leading Northeast 6-0 after one quarter, which is very interesting. But in particular, one that concerns both of us, Clarksville High leads Hendersonville 14-7 near the end of the first quarter.
There we go. Clarksville is a very good team. I don't think you saw their best effort against Beach, who will probably win that region. So I was interested to see how Clarksville would bounce back. Looks like they bounce back in a big way.
Absolutely. Looks like we got a good game over there.
Absolutely. Brady, thanks so much, man. We'll talk later.
Thanks, guys.
PA announcer, by the way, coming in loud.
Let's get ready.
Yeah, he was coming in hot. Yeah. As Claiborne Richards catches a touchdown pass from Montgomery Bell Academy.
Beautiful throw.
It was a very nice throw. I think the ball might have touched the heavens. It was so high in the air. I mean, seriously.
I think that's the difference with Marcel Reed between this year and last year. He wasn't making these types of throws last year. He was running around. He was completing passes, but he wasn't. He didn't look like this. So the work he put in the offseason has really paid dividends for him and kind of looking at him and how he even projects at the next level.
Boy, I can't wait.
I think his stock is continuing to go up.
I cannot wait to see him under Lane Kiffin and
if he's still there.
Yeah, you don't think he would? You don't think he'll still be there? You don't think?
Something tells me Lane wants out of Ole Miss. Even last year there was times where he complained about fans and fan support.
I don't want to hear that from Lane because as State Representative Tim Burchett said, Lane Kiffin's complaining about lack of fans or leaving in the middle of the game. I remember him leaving in the middle of the night in Knoxville.
Oh, yeah.
So Lane has no room to complain about leaving early.
Well, I think Lane wants to, he wants to have a big time program, and he wants to lead a big time program, and he wants his fans to act like it. And so, but no, it's all in good fun. I don't know anything about that, but it will be interesting. If an Auburn job opens up, does he look at that? Does he look at, do I want to go to Auburn and have a chance to beat Nick Saban in Alabama? Because I guarantee you, Lane Kiffin goes to Auburn, he's beating Nick Saban.
First of all, who said Auburn wants Lane Kiffin?
If you're Auburn, why wouldn't you take him?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not saying that's necessarily a bad thing, but it's not like this whole search is going to be Lane Kiffin.
I would be surprised if they look at anybody before Lane Kiffin.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big Lane Kiffin guy, but he's got to be A, B, and C as your first three options.
I think right now it's Lane for them, and then Hugh Freeze as kind of a back. I mean,
Matt Rule.
You like Matt Rule?
I'm saying I think that's where they're headed.
What about Matt Rule to Nebraska?
I think that's also one that main
because Lane Kiffin's not going to Nebraska.
The timing deal is going to be goofy to see.
Yeah.
How does he get out of Carolina if that's actually what's going to happen?
Right. Yeah.
Because I don't think the schools can wait until mid-January for that to play out. By the way, Middle has just scored on about a 55-yard run right up the middle to a fullback. 17-14 UTSA.
Are we sure that was a fullback?
He was rumbling.
He was rumbling.
He definitely didn't look like a running back. So
12 minutes to go, second quarter.
Who's Middle's quarterback? He looks like a good player.
He went to, oh gosh, I can't believe I'm going to forget this because we were just looking at that yesterday, last week when they beat
Cunningham.
Cunningham, thank you. And he went to
Cade Cunningham, right? Is it Cade?
And did he go to Maryville?
He might have.
Is that where he might have? Or Alcoa?
We've got Blaine Keller on the line.
You think Blaine knows?
I know that's not really Blaine's territory per se, but Blaine, MTSU's got a quarterback with the name of Cade Cunningham. Trivia question. Do you know where he went to high school?
Blaine doesn't.
It was Knoxville. Knoxville Catholic, I think. That'll give you a hat tip to the Tennesseans' George Robinson, who actually did a feature story on Cunningham that I read earlier this week. And I'm pretty sure he spoke with Knoxville Catholic.
Knoxville Catholic, looking at the MTSU Blue Raider. Shout out to Blaine, the encyclopedia of Tennessee high school.
I had a feeling Blaine would have that answer. He's savvy enough to give us that answer. But Blaine, anyway, that's beside the point. Really appreciate you taking the time to check in. How is your game going tonight?
Yeah, if you can't hear me right now, it's pretty loud here in Springfield, 7-0. Henry County's got an early lead over Springfield. Obviously, one of the bigger games in the mid-state. You look throughout the entire course of the season, it really determines Region 7 5A, by week 7, and really sets the postseason picture up, whenever you're talking about quarterfinals based on how good these programs have been.
I'll go here. Looking at the two programs, I mean, where would you stack them up in the mid-state in terms of, I think they oftentimes get forgotten or disrespected, but for these two teams tonight, I mean, where do you think they stack up in the state?
Yeah, I think that's a good point. A lot of times, especially, Springfield and Henry County do get overlooked at least a little bit. I think part of that's just because Henry County kind of is off and away in its own part. It's not quite Middle Tennessee and it's not quite West Tennessee. It's in an in-between spot. And, Springfield's just a powerhouse every year, but because of its weird location kind of as well, it gets forgotten about as well. So, I mean, stacking up in Class 5A, I mean, I'd be shocked if both of these teams weren't in at least the quarterfinal round this year. They both got really solid squads once again.
Blaine, you often go as far as your quarterback, and Springfield has a really good one in Devin Crenshaw. This is a guy that's experienced. He's been through the ringer, if you will, as a return savvy vet. What have you seen from him this year, just picking up where he left off last year?
Yeah, when you look at his frame, you don't think the guy's a runner. He's 6'3", around 250. He's built more like a linebacker because he's played linebacker the first couple of years before taking over the quarterback spot. But this guy can really surprise you with his elusiveness. I mean, he is a really powerful, solid runner. And that obviously really helps Springfield at the quarterback spot. But his arm is great, too. I mean, he's missed a couple of throws here tonight. But more times than not, when you get him in the deep ball situations, he's going to find his guys. And let's not forget Henry County either. I mean, this team's got a 3-star quarterback of its own in Ryan Dameron. He's got a couple FCS offers. And, it's one of the interesting storylines in this one, looking at some really high-powered offenses geared by their quarterbacks.
Henry County's got a really good offensive line anchored by, I believe they have an Arkansas commit, Luke Brown, if I'm not mistaken, on the right side.
Yep.
How has Springfield tried to combat that unit for Henry County tonight, and how do you grade them so far?
Yeah, it was interesting early on in that first quarter. Henry County had a really good drive that got down to Springfield's 2-yard line. They decided to go for it on 4th down. And actually, they brought in Devin Crenshaw on the linebacker spot, to kind of stop them and plug that high-powered offensive line that Henry County has. And it worked the first time, but Henry County got back down into the Springfield red zone, scored from 2 yards down. So there's been a little positive, a little bit of negative in regards to trying to plug Henry County on the offensive line.
Okay, good report. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Even better trivia.
Yeah.
Yeah, appreciate it, Blaine.
That's very impressive.
Yeah. Hey, any trivia questions you got for me? I'll try to answer them week by week, guys. Thanks.
Take care. Okay, so now we know where to go if we need to do Quiz Bowl.
Yeah, exactly.
I had a feeling, man. I had a feeling Blaine would be on top of that one, and surely enough, he was.
He was all over that one. And
I'm not trying to be a homer or anything here, guys, but I know we got to get to a break. But 99.1, the sports animal in Knoxville, Tennessee, has the Knoxville Catholic Fighting Irish versus the Father Ryan Fighting Irish on the radio. So I think coming up next, we do have Donley Timmons. Got to show some love to Father Ryan. So I'd love to go to that game if that's okay with you guys.
Oh, sure.
Sure.
Great.
Sure. We'd love to hear.
Well, I mean,
BGA playing anywhere?
I believe they're off tonight, actually. I believe BJ is off tonight. They're looking.
Hey, they competed with JP2 last week, George. I think that was encouraging. I mean, that I know they didn't get the win, but they looked a lot better than they have been.
We'll go to the break, and then we'll get you the update on that big Boise State, San Diego State game.
That's what we want.
Stick around. This is Friday Night Live on Main Street Media Television.
For Dustin Timmons and Joey Donnelly, they welcome every opportunity to serve and satisfy their clients. Whether you are looking to build your dream home or renovate your current home, their team will ensure that every client and remodel is unique, luxurious, completed on time, and within budget. Contact them today to set an appointment for a free consultation or to view some of their completed projects by logging on to DonnellyTimmons.com.
Jody Jones Dentistry can handle all your dental needs, from the basics to cosmetic procedures. All of this in the nicest dental facility I have ever seen. Jody has done it right. They're located conveniently at 55 Music Square East, and for an appointment, it's simple. Dial 615-259-5100 and tell them Plaz sent you. When you're thinking about golf, consider Riverside Golf Links. Under new ownership, the course has improved dramatically. It's now 27 holes, complemented by a 9-hole executive course. Book a tee time now at 615-847-5074 and get ready to enjoy the beauty of golf in the Old Hickory area at Riverside Golf Links.
This is attorney Bart Durham, and this is me. I'm Aaliyah. Keeping in good physical condition is really important to me. But when I had a wreck with a tractor-trailer truck that hurt my legs so bad I couldn't work for almost a year, I knew I needed a lawyer that understood tractor-trailer cases. So I called Bart. Bart gets millions of dollars for his clients every year.
At Bart Durham Injury Law, we've handled hundreds of tractor-trailer cases.
My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good. I thought it was good.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal. It was no big deal.
Hey, I can hold my liquor.
I thought I could hold my liquor.
For Dustin Timmons and Joey Donnelly, they welcome every opportunity to serve and satisfy their clients. Whether you are looking to build your dream home or renovate your current home, their team will ensure that every client and remodel is unique, luxurious, completed on time, and within budget. Contact them today to set an appointment for a free consultation or to view some of their completed projects by logging on to DonnellyTimmons.com.
So we are back. I'm told we're headed to Knoxville so that Billy can get his alumni dues paid for. Father Ryan, is it Knox Catholic?
Yes.
Okay. Let's check in with the sports animal in Knoxville, Tennessee. Billy, your alma mater in a tough, tight game there.
Yeah, I love this matchup. Father Ryan and Knox Catholic. It's two teams they played last year, and Knoxville Catholic barely got them. It was a tight, close game. So I love a couple Catholic schools. I don't know how many other Catholic schools are in Knoxville. You may know better than me, Zach, but I think Knoxville Catholic may be the only one out there. So
I'm running through them in my head, and I think it might
no,
be
there's definitely other Christian,
Sure.
but Catholic, that I think that's the only one out there. So it's a fun matchup. I think.
What about CAK? Is that the Catholic Academy of Knoxville? Is that what that stands for?
Might be
Or
Christian,
is it Christian Academy of Knoxville?
Christian Academy of Knoxville. I think. I think it could be Catholic though. I'm not sure, but
yeah.
But nevertheless, I do love this matchup, and JoJo Crump just put Father Ryan on the board. So
And he's a sleeper for. I mean, probably not going to win it because his team's not going to be in position, but a type of player that could make a run at a Mr. Football.
Yeah, I think down the road he's only a junior. His legs are really good. He's learning, how to be a complete quarterback still. But down the road he's really, really good with his legs. So, and at the high school level, that matters. I mean,
absolutely.
If you've got a quarterback that could really run like that, I mean, you see Marcel Reed out here. I mean, Minchie can run. There's so many quarterbacks at the high school level in the mid-state that are so good at running the football, and it really helps your team because, it's not college, not the NFL where, if you can't throw the ball deep, you're just, give it up. You're screwed. No, it's not really that way. It does make it harder, but if you've got a quarterback that can really run, it really helps you.
Absolutely. Hey, do we have Terry McCormick to play?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Perfect timing. We've got about 9 minutes left before we go to the break. And
TitanInsider.com.
TitanInsider.com. This is not a Titans preview for Sunday, but this is an interview that Zach did with Terry on his Sumner County Sports Podcast.
Mid-South exclusive.
That's right. That's right.
A Mid-South exclusive. Let's send it over to Zach Womble and Terry McCormick.
On Westmoreland all season long. Ever since I talked with Chad Perry in the offseason, and he explained the, nearly 30 players he had in the senior class and all the playmakers that he had returning this year, he really felt like this year could be a special year. They're 4-2 now. They've beaten Watertown. They've beaten Trousdale County. What has been so special about this season? What has made this season so special for Westmoreland?
Well, I think a couple of things. I think the first thing is, like Chad told you, senior leadership. They've got about 15 guys as part of that senior class that really have been leaders. They've been guys who have been standout players for several years. We're talking guys like Nick Gray, Cameron Eden, Eli Stafford, Marshall Booker, Dawson Borders. The list goes on and on. Bryce Kittrell. These guys who have started, a lot of them since they were sophomores, or played a lot since they were sophomores. So it's their time, and I think that's a big part of it. And then the other part of it is the defense. If you notice, most of Westmoreland's games, they're not involved in a lot of 42 to 38 games. They're involved in a lot of 16 to 13 type games, and that defense usually finds a way to bail them out. Even if the offense isn't clicking, and it's been better lately, the defense usually finds a way to keep them in most every ball game.
Yeah, you look at their scores, you're right. I mean, there's a lot of 14-13s, a lot of 20 to 15s, 20 to nothings. You do get a 42-0 in there when they beat Trousdale County, so I'm sure they really like that one. But Terry, I want to go back to week one. Last year was such a tough loss at Portland, right? You lose on a last-second field goal. And for them to win it this year, what do you think that did for their confidence just in week one?
I think it set the tone for the whole year. Just like last year, the loss seemed to set the tone for the whole year. Last year, in a lot of close games, they would always seem to come up short. They would find a way to lose, even though they had opportunities to win. They started the year 0-6, and I'd say 4 of those losses were probably a touchdown or less, some of them just a point or two. And this year, when they won at Portland, I think that gave them the confidence to say, hey, this year we're going to figure out a way. We went through what we went through last year. This year, we're going to be on the right end of a lot of these close games. Now, they did lose at Macon County 20-15, and they had a shot to win that ball game, but couldn't come through. But other than that, they've pretty much been in every ball game. The only game that they really felt like they were really dominated was against Smith County, and their massive offensive line that averaged about 250 per man.
Yeah, I wanted to ask about those two games. One, Macon County. This is a Tigers team that's undefeated. It seems like they're rolling, but had a chance to win that game. I'm curious. That obviously it was a tough loss driving back home, but surely those guys felt like, hey, it's a anything can happen in this game. Surely it gave them confidence, even despite the loss, right?
Yeah, I think it probably did because they got a safety toward the end of the game. It looked like they had pinned Macon County back on the one, got a safety, which made it 20-15, which gave them the ball back. And then I think they got a first down on that drive, but then the drive kind of fizzled out in the edge of Macon County territory there at the end of the ball game, and that kind of allowed the Tigers to earn the win. But I think that the Eagles knew that they could play ball with just about anybody on their schedule. And then you look at how Macon County dominated Portland Friday night, and you certainly look back at 20-15 and say, hey, that's not too bad.
Yeah, and really even Smith County, I know it's 13-0. They're a 5A program that's been really, really good. You said that they felt like they were really kind of out of that game, but they've played Portland, who's 5A, Smith County, who's 5A, Macon County, who's 4A. They played Clay County. I know Clay County's only 1A, but they were an undefeated Clay County team. This is a team that is going through the ringer right now, and it should pay dividends for them. Is that kind of their thought process?
Yeah, I think so, because last year when they went 3-7, you looked at the schedule, and it was like they had hit everybody on their schedule was having an up year. Almost every team they played had a large senior class. They had, they were going through an up time in their program. This year, I think they were hoping to catch some of them down, but some of those teams are still up. And you mentioned Clay County. Zach, don't be surprised if you see them make a deep run in the 1A playoffs, because they have something that a lot of 1A teams don't. They have quarterbacks and receivers who can really move the football down the field with big chunk plays. The Eagles really were fortunate to win that game Friday night because Clay County has some playmaking ability.
Yeah, most certainly. I heard your call there on WHIN at the end of it, the missed 2-point conversion to get the win. But this is a team, they put so much focus in Watertown and Trousdale County in the region, right? And rightfully so. Those are two teams that have periodically dominated this region. They beat them by a combined 62-0 at this point. But now it seems like East Robertson is going to be the team that gets in the way. I guess what's the feelings right now going into this Whites Creek game before that massive, what should be region championship showdown?
Yeah, I think, you got to go there and you got to take care of business. Whites Creek, they have athletic ability, but they've been down the last few years. And I think, the two things you want to accomplish out of this game is, one, you want to come out with a win, and two, you want to avoid any serious injuries. And then you've got a bye week and then the showdown with East Robertson. Now, I'll tell you the interesting thing about the East Robertson matchup with Westmoreland. These two teams have played each other since these kids were in middle school. And when they were in middle school, there were some amazing matchups. When this group of seniors, when they were 7th graders, they defeated East Robertson and Taylor Groves, who had 5 touchdowns in the game. They defeated them in the regular season. They played a rematch in the bowl game, and East Robertson won the bowl game. The next year, when this group of seniors was 8th graders, East Robertson won the regular season meeting, and Westmoreland defeated them in the bowl game to win the region championship in the middle school ranks. So some very good competition between these two programs over the last few years, dating back all the way to the time that these boys were in the 7th grade.
That's awesome. That's good stuff right there. And obviously it's going to be a really big game here coming up. But you mentioned the bye week. How are they doing as far, you say obviously you want to get through this game without any big injuries. How are they doing on that side of the ball? Like, how are they doing with their injuries right now? And is the bye week coming at the right time for them?
I think it is coming at the right time because it's going to give them an extra week to prepare for the team that they're going to face for the region championship, most likely. And there's also a chance that they could get senior wingback and defensive end Dylan Beasley back. He was thought to be lost for the season when he suffered a broken neck in the Portland game. But the injury is healed. He is supposed to be cleared here in the next couple of weeks. The brace is off, and he may get to play some snaps beginning with the East Robertson game. So that is great news. He's such a good kid, a leader on this team, and a boy that, a lot of the guys looked up to. It was feared that he was lost for his senior year, but he may get to come back and play. And if he can, that will really give them an extra boost to add another skill position player in that backfield.
That is a wonderful story, Terry, that he could just be in the position to come back after, you said, breaking his neck against Portland. That's remarkable for him to be able to be in this position. Terry, I want to ask you one more thing before we let you go. We think that Westmoreland is going to finish 1 or 2 in their region. What does that mean for the playoff outlook? Do you have any insight on just what the road in the playoffs looks like for Westmoreland?
Well, it's going to mean, for one thing, that they won't have to travel to Marion County or Polk County or Chattanooga Tyner.
Yeah.
Those have been the 3 destinations that they've been to over the years. It seems, they might as well, in years past, they might as well go ahead and schedule a trip to Marion County in week 11, because it seems like they faced them every year.
Yep.
It makes a world of difference when you're going that far for a playoff game. Sometimes it makes a world of difference to have them come to you where you're rested. You've been, prepared. You don't have to get on the road and make a 2 or 3 hour road trip. So I think it's the first home. It would be the first home playoff game I think that they've had probably since about 2013 or 14, when Brad and Michael Evans and Justice Graves were still playing. They played York Institute at home and won.
Wow, that is well, it's certainly been a long time coming, and I know one that Westmoreland is hopefully looking forward to. But if you look at the playoff picture with Marion County in that Region 3 2A, guess who's sitting at number 3 in the region right now, Terry? It's the good old Marion County Warriors, right in front of Meigs County. So it's not going to be an easy. Thank you. Yeah, that was a fun interview with Terry McCormick, talking about Westmoreland. I feel like I've been driving the hype train for the Eagles all season long. They're 4-2 now. They're going to Whites Creek. They should win. They'll have a bye next week, and then they've got the big region championship showdown with East Robertson at home. So, a team to keep an eye out on for if, you just like good hometown high school football. Westmoreland is the ticket that you want to buy.
No doubt about it. And there's nobody better than Terry McCormick on the radio either. I mean,
there's not. We'll have to check in with him later on tonight to see how that game's going at Whites Creek. I imagine it's going to get out of hand early for Westmoreland, but.
So you all went to his game?
We sure did. We went to Terry McCormick's game last week, and Zach knew who the voice was. He knew it was Terry on the air. I had no idea going into that live stream that was Terry McCormick, and Terry was upset about something at the end of the game. Gets a little upset, and that started to sound like
heated?
Terry. What? Yeah, he got
heated.
Got a little heated. Started to really sound like Terry, and that's when I realized, wait, is that Terry McCormick? So that was fun. We'll definitely have to do that again tonight.
Absolutely, yeah. He's something else. But I know we had to get to a break. Is that right? We got to get to a break here. So
And then we've got Blackman and who's Blackman got? Oakland. Blackman and Oakland coming up on 104.5 The Zone.
Okay, stay tuned. This is Main Street Media Television.
For Dustin Timmons and Joey Donnelly, they welcome every opportunity to serve and satisfy their clients. Whether you are looking to build your dream home or renovate your current home, their team will ensure that every client and remodel is unique, luxurious, completed on time, and within budget. Contact them today to set an appointment for a free consultation or to view some of their completed projects by logging on to donleytimmons.com.
Jody Jones Dentistry can handle all your dental needs, from the basics to cosmetic procedures. All of this in the nicest dental facility I have ever seen. Jody has done it right. They're located conveniently at 55 Music Square East, and for an appointment, it's simple. Dial 615-259-5100 and tell them Plaz sent you.
I'm Bart Durham.
I was sworn in as a lawyer in 1963, and I've been working as a lawyer since then.
We're a firm that does exclusively personal injury, a lot of tractor trailer crashes. Insurance companies will open up their checkbooks when you force them to.
We have systems that work.
We get the most money for our clients in the shortest amount of time.
I'm Blair Durham. My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
Hi, this is Melissa Hoisington, Regional Crisis Director from Volunteer Behavioral Health. Disasters can affect everything in your life, including your emotional health. Help is available during these uncertain times. The Tennessee Recovery Project is a free, supportive resource for adults and children who have experienced the effects of natural or human-caused disasters. Specialists are available for counseling by phone or in person. For free, confidential service, please call 833-954-2424. The hotline is open 7 days a week, 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Move forward with the help from the Tennessee Recovery Project.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good. I thought it was good.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal. It was no big deal.
Hey, I can hold my liquor. I thought I could hold my liquor.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
It was just a few cocktails at happy hour.
You really good try. There aren't any cops around. I didn't think there were any cops around.
I drink and drive all the time.
Sir, you've been in a serious crash. I want you to hang on, okay? Cover your nose, sir. You know where you are right now? Get out now.
Well, new update from the Chop House. Braves lead New York 3-1, bottom of the sixth. All three of their runs have been on solo homers. Matt Olson with number 31, Austin Riley with number 38, Dansby Swanson, and I'm guessing here around number 20.
Yeah, he's in the 20s. I think he's reached 20.
Anyway, 3-1 Atlanta, bottom six, behind Max Fried in a game that they absolutely have to have.
Max Fried left the game after feeling ill.
Oh.
That's why he's not pitching anymore.
Oh, I did not know that.
Oh, my gosh. Hopefully he's okay.
I don't think this will be Jesse Chavez.
Hopefully not.
So Blackman in Oakland coming up live. Is that correct?
Yep. We're going to go live to 104.5 The Zone for Blackman and Oakland. Bear with us here. A couple ad reads, but we'll get right to the game.
Okay. Okay, so the fact that Oakland is up 19, no real big surprise there.
I am looking at that. Surely that's a typo because the Friday Night Rivals has Browning Trainer, a junior
5.2 GPA.
NBA with a 5.2 GPA.
I didn't think you could go higher than 5, but it's NBA.
I didn't think you could go higher than 3.
You could have added all. You could have added all of mine.
I think that tells us
and not gotten to a 5.2.
That tells us where Zach went to high school.
Just jokes. Just jokes. I'm not a dumb jock. Just jokes.
We do have
you weren't a jock, were you?
I was.
He was a good basketball player.
I was.
Hey, we've got an update from John Overton and McGavick. Russell Venozzi checking in live. Always love his halftime reports. John Overton leads McGavick 19-15. Russell, what have you seen out there tonight?
Hey, guys. Been a pretty wild game so far. Several fumbles and turnovers, but it's made for some exciting action. And Overton took the lead with a couple minutes left in the second quarter on just a really weird play. McGavick had the ball like its own 10-yard line. It looked like the quarterback was just trying to do a hard count to try to get Overton to jump off sides on a 4th and 4. And the center ended up snapping the ball, and the quarterback was not ready for it. It went to the ground. Overton scooped it up and took it in for an easy touchdown to take the lead. And that's the difference right now, 19-14 or 19-15, excuse me.
So pretty weird game so far.
Yeah, I've been keeping up with the stats and everything, and it's just it's been a fun game though. And there's a nice crowd here. It's homecoming at Overton. Of course, both these teams only have one loss, and it's a really big night in that region, 6A. I know you guys just spoke to Tyler a little bit ago, and of course he's got Cambridge, Smyrna. Those are the top 4 teams in that league right now, and they all certainly look like teams that could make some noise in the playoffs in about a month when that gets fired up.
Russell, George and I have talked about this a lot, and Zach as well. Of course, the Overton tradition that they have, really one of the more tradition-rich schools, not only in Metro but in the mid-state area. Obviously, so much winning going back to the 90s and the early 2000s with Overton. Are they anywhere close to getting back to that, to back to where they were? I know this is this would be a good step, beating McGavick, but have you seen the steps potentially being taken there by Overton and Metro, or do you think there's still work to do out there?
There's definitely still work to do, but in their second season under Arsente Broom, a longtime Metro staple, he was at McGavick and took them on, or sorry, not McGavick, Maplewood, took them on a big playoff run a few years ago, and he's really done a nice job turning this program around. He took over last year and immediately helped them to a 7-5 record in a playoff appearance, so that was definitely a step in the right direction. And they've got quite a bit of talent here. Their quarterback Ryder Hagan is committed to Tennessee State. Their top receiver is committed to Memphis. They've got a running back in Javon Edmondson that's starting to draw some college attention. So they've certainly got some players here, and they've got a chance to have a pretty good season. They did take a several score loss to Cane Ridge, and so that's probably going to keep them from getting the top spot. But I believe they still have a game against Smyrna, and of course they've got this one tonight. So yeah, I would say Overton, not there yet, but they've definitely made some significant progress these last couple of seasons.
Russell, you look at their schedule; they've won 4 in a row. Talking about Overton, and of those 3 of the last 4, they've put zeros up on the scoreboard. Their opponents aside, what have you seen from that defensive unit tonight that has them playing really well the last month of the season?
Yeah, well, it helps that their offense keeps the ball away from the other team quite a bit. They're a pretty dynamic offense. I think they're scoring about 41 or 42 points a game. But yeah, the defense has been solid. I mean, they've kept Demetrius Bell. That's McGavick's best player. He was committed to Michigan State at one time, and he's weighing some other offers now. He's decommitted, but they've kept him in check. He had maybe 1 or 2 big plays, but they've kept him out of the end zone. And just kind of overall, just a nice unit that Overton's got, and no real stars that I know of on defense. But they're getting it done and holding McGavick in check so far.
Russell, good stuff from Overton. Tell everybody over there we said hello, and should be a good second half.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Thanks for having me, guys.
Russell Venozzi reporting from Overton. Did I hear correctly? 19-15 lead.
Yep. Really awkward score there. I've been checking.
Yeah.
I've been checking his updates. I think I saw like 8-5 or, some weird scores, definitely a safety or two in there. But it's kind of a familiar theme for Metro. You don't know what you're going to get quite every Friday night from those Metro schools, but that's what makes it fun. That's what makes it fun to watch.
Billy, real quickly in college football, Tulane early fourth quarter leads at Houston 14-7. They have just gone to the half in Murfreesboro, a real shootout. UTSA 31, MTSU 20. They have just reached the intermission. San Diego State shutting out pitiful Boise State 13-0 late second quarter. And the Braves lead at home against the Mets 3-1 bottom of the seventh. 3 solo homers have done the trick. As for the Mets, they have knocked Max Fried out of the game due to illness.
Yep. That's big for the Mets, but the Braves they've gotten some offensive production. So they lead 3-1 still. So this would be a big one.
I do think there is something, and I don't pretend to know what, to the whole Jacob deGrom is not at his A game right now. Tonight was only, I believe I heard, the second time in his career that he has given up 3 homers in a game.
That's crazy.
So, yeah, that's how they've gotten it done. So if Atlanta were to win, they would forge a tie in the National League East with 2 games left in this series. Pretty big stuff.
Yeah. What a fun series this is to end the season for those 2 teams. That'll tell you who wants the division.
Oh, I know who wants the division.
We know who wants it in this building.
Yes.
It's the Mets.
Not a chance.
The Mets want it.
Yeah.
One of us may sneak down there Sunday.
Good luck with that.
Thank you. May be costly.
Might get a doubleheader if the hurricane
doesn't look like it. There is nothing in the forecast with all that hurricane stuff. It appears Atlanta missed it completely, and good for them.
Yeah, good for Atlanta.
Good for that series.
Yeah, man, you just really feel for everyone in Southwest Florida. The scene down there looks awful.
Yeah, looking at some of the pictures. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and it's crazy because I was down there and I recognized some of those areas. Last 4 years, and it's crazy. So hopefully, especially for a lot of those football teams too that are kind of put on pause right now. They don't really know, when they're going to play.
Yeah.
I mean, you got game on Wednesday next week for UCF. So.
Yeah, UCF and SMU, 2 pretty good teams going at it on a Wednesday night. That doesn't happen very often.
No, it doesn't. Not till Maction starts.
So do we need to take a break?
I think it's time for a break.
Let's do it. The show is Friday Night Live. Zach Womble, George Plaster, Billy Derrick alongside as we go through the entire night of high school football on Main Street Media Television.
For Dustin Timmons and Joey Donnelly, they welcome every opportunity to serve and satisfy their clients. Whether you are looking to build your dream home or renovate your current home, their team will ensure that every client and remodel is unique, luxurious, completed on time, and within budget. Contact them today to set an appointment for a free consultation or to view some of their completed projects by logging on to DonnellyTimmons.com.
Jody Jones Dentistry can handle all your dental needs, from the basics to cosmetic procedures. All of this in the nicest dental facility I have ever seen. Jody has done it right. They're located conveniently at 55 Music Square East, and for an appointment, it's simple. Dial 615-259-5100 and tell them Plaz sent you.
I'm Bart Durham.
I was sworn in as a lawyer in 1963, and I've been working as a lawyer since then.
We're a firm that does exclusively personal injury, a lot of tractor trailer crashes. Insurance companies will open up their checkbooks when you force them to.
We have systems that work.
We get the most money for our clients in the shortest amount of time.
I'm Blair Durham. My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
Hi, this is Melissa Hoisington, Regional Crisis Director from Volunteer Behavioral Health. Disasters can affect everything in your life, including your emotional health. Help is available during these uncertain times. The Tennessee Recovery Project is a free, supportive resource for adults and children who have experienced the effects of natural or human-caused disasters. Specialists are available for counseling by phone or in person. For free, confidential service, please call 833-954-2424. The hotline is open 7 days a week, 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Move forward with the help from the Tennessee Recovery Project.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good. I thought it was good.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal. It was no big deal.
Hey, I can hold my liquor. I thought I could hold my liquor.
We are back here on Friday Night Live. I believe we have Andy Telly on the line. He is covering NBA's game at Pope Prep. Andy, it's been all Big Red, hasn't it?
Here at Pope Prep, it's halftime. Teams are about ready to start for the second half. And NBA has been pretty dominant tonight. They're out to a 21-0 lead. They've just pretty much ground the JP2 defense up a little bit, controlled the ball the whole time. JP2's offense has been struggling. They're missing their star quarterback, Kenny Minchie. I think at the beginning of the season, everybody was looking at this game as a great way to see two of the top quarterbacks in the state play against each other. Marcel Reed for NBA and Kenny Minchie for Pope Prep. But Minchie's out with an injury to his shoulder, so it's just been the Marcel Reed show. He's passed for a touchdown, and then Jonathan Moore has run for 2 for the Big Red. So we'll see what happens here in the second half. But JP2's got to really get their offense going if they want to make it.
Yeah, they've had 39 yards of total offense. What buttons do they have to push that could crank up anything?
Well, they've got 2 really good receivers in Colin Cook and Josh Melander. The quarterback they've got playing is the third-string quarterback, Chet Lax, but he usually starts a wide receiver. He's got a strong arm. They just got to give him some time and see if those guys can get open. But NBA's defense has been, one of the best in the state all year, and they're showing it tonight. They're just very physical, and they're not really giving them much time or room. Elijah Robb, the running back for Pope Prep, he's gotten a little bit of space on a couple of plays, but pretty much they've bottled him up. So it's they've got a tall task indeed.
Yeah, Andy. I mean, unfortunately, just not a lot of places to go in this one. NBA just kind of really dominating this one from the start. To me, it looks like they are the best team in the state. Do you get the same vibes from them tonight?
Yeah, they look pretty good to me. I haven't seen Lipscomb Academy, but or I haven't seen Oakland either. It would be great to see those guys playing around Robin, wouldn't it? But,
it would be.
These guys can hold their own, I'm pretty sure. Marcel Reed is really impressive. He's really fast, and he's got a cannon for an arm, and he's thrown for one touchdown, and he's had two of them drop. So, his stats could, when I totaled them up, I thought, well, gosh, I thought he had a better half than that. But he looked a lot better than his numbers, let me tell you.
Absolutely.
Andy, how much of an impact do you think the absence of Kenny Minchie has played on this Pope Prep offense, not only tonight, but, since he's been out? How important is he to that team?
Oh, I think he's crucial. I had a friend here who's sees him every week, and he was telling me they're a good team without him. They're a great team with him. And I think he really does make a big difference. He's got a strong arm. He's accurate. He's poised back there. I'm not saying they would win this game if he was here, but I think their offense would certainly be more productive because I think he can get the ball where it needs to be, recognizes where it needs to go, and can get it there. He's got a strong arm and a very accurate arm. So, it's these two guys aren't the two of the best quarterbacks in the state for nothing. I mean, you can see it when you see them play.
Absolutely. Well, Andy, we'll let you get back to the second half there as it's getting ready to kick underway, and we'll check back later, okay?
All right, thanks. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Bye.
Andy. Hey, we were talking about which game we wanted to go to next. I mean, there's a couple really good ones. We mentioned Blackman, Oakland. Father Ryan Knox Catholic is 16-14 now. Knox Catholic leads. We had Henry County Springfield. So it's up to your disposal where we go.
Yeah, we can go to
up to your what?
Up to your disposal.
Up to my disposal.
Up to my disposal. To his disposal.
Is that the proper use of the word?
I think in that context it is.
Yeah, up to my disposal.
Yeah.
I got to think about that one.
Let's go to Henry County.
You're a Hall of Famer, not a writer, George.
We actually have a injury on the field for Henry County, so we will take a break before we get to that. So we won't go there yet, but we do have Westmoreland that we can go to. So
Mr. McCormick.
Yeah, let's go to
let's
go to Mr. McCormick with Westmoreland.
For Dustin Timmons and Joey Donnelly, they welcome every opportunity to serve and satisfy their clients. Whether you are looking to build your dream home or renovate your current home, their team will ensure that every client and remodel is unique, luxurious, completed on time, and within budget. Contact them today to set an appointment for a free consultation or to view some of their completed projects by logging on to DonnellyTimmons.com.
Jody Jones Dentistry can handle all your dental needs, from the basics to cosmetic procedures. All of this in the nicest dental facility I have ever seen. Jody has done it right. They're located conveniently at 55 Music Square East, and for an appointment, it's simple. Dial 615-259-5100 and tell them Plaz sent you.
Hi, this is Melissa Hoisington, Regional Crisis Director from Volunteer Behavioral Health. Disasters can affect everything in your life, including your emotional health. Help is available during these uncertain times. The Tennessee Recovery Project is a free, supportive resource for adults and children who have experienced the effects of natural or human-caused disasters. Specialists are available for counseling by phone or in person. For free, confidential service, please call 833-954-2424. The hotline is open 7 days a week, 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Move forward with the help from the Tennessee Recovery Project.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good. I thought it was good.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal. It was no big deal.
Hey, I can hold my liquor. I thought I could hold my liquor.